The 9-year vintage Destiny King and his 7-year vintage sister will accumulate with 2,000 humans in Westminster Abbey to bear in mind their past due great-grandmother on Monday, as hundreds of thousands watch the televised carrier throughout the globe. The younger royals will stroll through the Gothic church with the royal-owned circle of relatives, in procession in the back of the Queen's coffin, as its miles carried through the Navy bearer party. Their grandfather, the King with the Queen consort, will technique straight away in the back of the coffin, observed through the Princess Royal and Vice Admiral Sir Tim Lawrence, then the Duke of York, observed through the Earl and Countess of Wessex, after which the Prince and Princess of Wales. George and Charlotte, who known as the Queen Gan, may be together, in the back of their parents, on foot facet through facet in formation, observed through their uncle and aunt the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, and different participants of the royal-owned circle of relatives. Before we continue, you are welcome to DEBY'S Royal TV channel as we keep you updated. The second and 1/3 in line to the throne also are predicted to be on the committal carrier in St. George's Chapel, Windsor Castle afterwards. The Prince and Princess's 4-year vintage brother Prince Louis isn't set to be there. His playful antics at the balcony for the Platinum Jubilee extremely joyful royal lovers, and he's in all likelihood to be taken into consideration too younger to attend. At the give-up of the carrier, following the last post-minutes silence, the reveille, and the countrywide anthem, the Queen's Piper, Warrant Officer Class 1, Pipe Major Paul Burns, will play the conventional lament Sleep, Dearie, Sleep. Before the carrier, the tenor bell may be tolled each minute for 96 minutes, reflecting the years of the Queen's lifestyles. The Dean of Westminster, the Very Reverend Dr. David Hoyle, will say in the bidding, "Here, in which Queen Elizabeth turned into married and crowned, we accumulate from throughout the nation, from the Commonwealth, and from the countries of the world, to mourn our loss, to bear in mind her lengthy lifestyles of selfless carrier." He will communicate of the Queen's loyal dedication to her excessive calling over such a lot of years as Queen and head of the Commonwealth. With affection we don't forget her love for her own circle of relatives, and her dedication to the reasons she held dear. The Dean will say, one of the hymns "The Lord's my shepherd, I'll not want" turned into sung on the Queen's wedding ceremony, whilst she married the Duke of Edinburgh with inside the identical abbey, as a 21-year vintage bride in 1947. It turned into additionally sung on the funeral of the Queen's father George VI in St. George's Chapel, Windsor Castle, in 1952, however with barely extraordinary wording. The others hymns are "The Day Thou Gavest, Lord, is Ended," and "Love Divine, All Loves Excelling." The latter has frequently featured at royal weddings which include William and Kate's, Charles and Camilla's wedding ceremony blessing, and Princess Eugenie's. Prayers may be stated through the Reverend Dr. Ian Greenshields, moderator of the General Assembly of the Church of Scotland, for Queen Elizabeth's lengthy lifestyles and reign, recalling with gratitude her items of wisdom, diligence, and carrier. The Bishop of London, Dame Sarah Mullally, will say a prayer for our maximum gracious sovereign Lord King Charles, Camilla the Queen Consort, William Prince of Wales, and all of the royal-owned circle of relatives. Reverend Canon Helen Cameron, moderator of the Free Churches Group, will reward the Queen's unstinting devotion to duty, her compassion for her subjects, and her suggest to her ministers. The Queen's committal carrier at St. George's Chapel capabilities numerous portions of track that had been additionally heard on the Duke of Edinburgh's funeral in April, final years and different most important royal events, Princess of Wales and Charles, and at Philip's funeral. Nimrod through Sir Edward Elgar turned into heard on the Queen's coronation in 1953, and also will be performed earlier than the committal begins. Lord St. Amu, the previous Archbishop of York, turned into reportedly a part of the crew which helped devise the authentic order of carrier for the Queen's Kingdom funeral. The cleric instructed BBC News the Queen knew the Psalms through coronary heart, and Psalm 121, additionally featured on the Queen Mother's funeral in 2002, may be sung at her committal. Thanks for watching. Please do like and subscribe as the God Lord reward her kindness with